Well, welcome back, everyone. You might recognize me from our first video, the welcome video on day one. Today is day 8. So over the last week, I'm sure that you have been flooded with some new information. You're taking notes and you're starting to implement. The other day, we heard from Erica. She did such a beautiful job of how to craft our story in an effective way. And I'm going to take that story that we learned how to craft and plug it into our system. Our system is proven. All of the top leaders in this page that are training you how to run this business have followed this system as well. And it is because it is effective and it is successful. So we want to implement that as soon as possible as we launch our businesses, and we're here to teach you how. So the first part of our system is crafting our story, which we just learned about that. So I'm not going to go back over that. If you need to rewind to day 6 to learn from Erica on how to do that, please do so before you come to this video. After you craft your story, you're going to make your soft calls. You're going to have those initial conversations from the people on your list. And at the end of your soft call, you are going to end it the same way every time. All right, I've got to jump off the line. I've got some other people that are really excited to hear about Rodan and Fields, and I need to make those phone calls, but I'm going to follow up with you on Tuesday or Wednesday. Does 9 a.m. or 7 p.m. work for you? You want to give them different time slots to be available because we have, people who work, people who have careers, we have schedules with kids, we have all kinds of things that we're working with. So we want to give them a couple of options, all right? Now, all of your leaders should have some kind of capability for you to go into, whether it's a time trade account, which is so easy and free to set up, but you're able to go into that before you make your soft call so that you know their availabilities to host your 3-way call, which is the next step in the system, okay? So before you make that soft call, go ahead and check the availability with your sponsor of when they're free to do 3-way calls, because that is such an essential piece of our system, all right? So at the end, you're offering those time slots that go with whatever your sponsor said for availability. And then you let them pick one. Oh, Tuesday at 9 a.m. is perfect. Okay, great. I'm going to follow up with you then. You're going to have some questions in the meantime, and I'm going to send you a little more information. And then when we connect on Tuesday, I might be able to get my friend and my business partner, Sally, on the line. She has been doing this a little bit longer. She has a fantastic story to share, okay? You just want to make that very casual. If you make the 3-way call weird for your prospect, they are going to think it's weird. I have never had anybody feel threatened or find the 3-way call process strange because of the way that I position it. It's casual, it's no big deal. It'll just be a super casual call. We'll get all your questions answered. She may or may not be available. I don't know. But if she is, she would love to jump on for a second. Okay. And remember, as with everything, this is about their interest, not yours. So the 3-way call, the system, the soft call, the more information, this is all about helping them determine if this could be a fit. All right. So always position it that way. This isn't about you and what you need to grow your business. You're not asking people for favors. You are doing them a disservice if you position this like you need a favor from them. All right. You're just taking them through the process. You're on a fast moving train to success. You're willing and able to jump, pull off on the side of the train tracks and let people jump on board. But you're going to be successful with or without their business. And you don't really care if they buy product from you or join you in business or want to do this 3-way call. You're just going to keep that train moving. And that confidence in what you're sitting on is really going to translate to your friends and family. Okay. So you have that scheduled. In the meantime, you're going to send some more information. Now, this could be a myriad of things. And really, you want to use your discernment based on the relationship or the person to what that looks like. In my bigger team page, we have what's called our more information email. And most of your leaders are going to have access to that. You're not able to be in those pages yet until you graduate from this one. So you probably aren't going to have access to that file. So just have your sponsor send you over the more information email. We also have our Redefine blog, which is a great resource. And you can search keywords at the top, whether it's nurse or retired her husband or get out of medical school debt or funding a career, philanthropy, or whatever it is. We have everything, right? We have success stories from everybody. And it's really wild and amazing to be able to read those, see what Rodan & Fields is doing for people in a real way, and then share that with others. All right, so far, you shaped your story with Erica. You did your soft call, and at the end of the call, you got a follow-up call schedule. Internally, we call them three-way calls. You might have a different, a name for it in your team, but basically it's just a follow-up, okay? So you have that scheduled. Connect your prospect or your potential business partner friend with the person who's going to be doing the three-way call, okay? I think that's really valuable to do, whether it's through Facebook Messenger or whatever, so that they can see this is a real person. They look, normal. This is no big deal. And what I do in those is I say, hey, I use Facebook Messenger a lot. Hey, Sally, or text works as well. Hey, Sally, this is Susie. Susie is going to be able to jump on her call. She is awesome. Just wanted to connect you guys before the call. And then the host of the three-way call, which is going to be your upline, they can come in and say, oh, I'm so glad to meet you. Looking forward to our call. It'll be super casual and short, but hopefully it will be beneficial in deciding if this could possibly be a fit for you. Okay. So remember, it's always about that person. All right. So now we have sent them a little bit more information. I usually let them know. This was from my husband, Taylor Guss, who is so gifted in sales management, all of these aspects of our business. And he said that it's a great thing to tell them, what I'm about to send you is going to answer about 70% of your questions, but we'll take care of the rest when we have our follow-up call. Great thing to plant the seed that whatever you're about to look at, whether it's the Redefine story, whether it's the more information email, whether it's a video of a leader that I sent you, that's not going to answer all your questions. We need to jump back on this call and have the follow-up call. All right. All right. So now we've led up to the three-way call. And what is going to happen next is so helpful for our potential business partners to determine if this could be a fit for them. And so we want to make sure that every single person that we ever talk to about Rodan & Fields goes through the three-way call process. It's really good for a couple of reasons. One, it helps them to have a different perspective than the one, that you're sharing with them. It helps them to have a different story. Sometimes people hear the same thing in a different way, depending upon the relationship or the dynamic, right? So when my sister joined me in business, I'm her little baby sister. Obviously, we have a different dynamic. So it's really helpful for her to hear from somebody else that isn't her baby sister telling her, oh my gosh, you should totally do this. It would be amazing, an amazing business venture for you, right? So that is really helpful. Another reason we don't do three-way calls because the person can't handle closing on their own. We know that a lot of you walking in here can close on your own. I can close on my own. And even if you aren't able to in the beginning, you will grow in confidence in that and eventually be able to do that. But let's say you're, a top recruiter for some Fortune 500 company. You know how to close a deal, right? You know how to recruit somebody. You are not above the three-way call process either, because what matters is that it's duplicatable. Everything that you model and everything that you do in this business, your team is going to follow suit. So if you don't model the three-way call for them, if they're not brought into the business with three-way call being part of that process, they're not going to do it for their team, and they might not be a recruiter for a Fortune 500 company. So it's really important that we model that we show them the system so that they're system dependent and not sponsor dependent, okay? So no matter where you are in your level of ability to close someone, always take somebody through the three-way call process. Now, let's say you are having lunch with a friend and you say, this is amazing. I'm so excited about my new Rodan & Fields business. And she says, I want to do it. I want to do it right now. Absolutely. This seems like a brilliant business decision for our family. And you say, well, wait a minute, we've got to go through this process. And no, you go ahead and close the deal, sign them up. But right after that, have them jump on a call with your sponsors and take them through the three-way call process. I call it just a welcome call, but show them the three-way process in that call so that they then model that for their team. Okay, that's so important. If you don't bring people in on a three-way call, they will not do them. They will think it's weird because they don't understand how beneficial, how casual it can be for them because they were never shown it. And so that's a really dangerous thing to get involved in, is just starting to close people on your own. There will be a breakdown in duplication. You will slow the growth of your business down. So as out of your comfort zone as this is right now, just trust us and do it anyway. They work, and I have never had anybody resist it. People are only really thankful that you took the time to have somebody else share their story. All right. So that's a little background. Once you get on the three-way call, this is the nitty gritty. You have, let's say that I'm going to host the three-way call. So I'm the upper level leader or the longest consultant in the group, right? So we have the consultant, Sally, who brought you to the call. Okay. You're Susie. You're the prospect or the potential business partner, right? You're Susie. This is Sally, your friend who brought you to the call. And now I'm going to host the call, right? So Sally's going to say, hey, Susie, hold on one second. And then she's going to, whether you have an iPhone or an Android or whatever, you're going to do a merge call. Okay, so if you need to Google how to do that, that's fine. But you're going to go to the contact, you're going to add me or your sponsor, whoever's hosting it, and then you're going to go click merge calls, and then you're going to go back to the call and say, hey, Sally, this is Elizabeth or Susie. I'm starting to get confused. Anyway, this is Elizabeth, and she is my upline. She is my friend and business partner, and she is going to share her story with you. She has been incredibly successful in this business. She earned her free car. She is a top leader in the company. She got off to a very slow start, so I think that's really valuable for us to learn from her what not to do. And Elizabeth, this is Susie. She is my neighbor. She is an attorney, and she has 3 little ones. And I think that she would be great at this business because fill in the blank. All right. Then you're done with your role. All right. You're done. You say, okay, I'm going to let you take it from here, Elizabeth. And then you mute yourself out. Muting yourself out is essential because sometimes you're going to be tempted to cut in, and we don't ever want somebody to feel tag teamed, right? We just want your sponsor to have a conversation with your potential business partner or friend. So just mute yourself out. At the end of the call, you can jump back on. Now, this call should be 15 to 20 minutes long. That is it. It should not be 45 minutes. It should not be an hour and a half. Remember, everything that you do duplicates. So if the person, Susie, on the call is taken through a 45-minute call, they're going to say, there's no possible way that I have time for this in my life. I'm very busy. I have a career. I have kids, whatever. So we want to model something that is scalable for them. And scalable means short, to the point, casual, and then we take them through that process. All right. So I will start the call as the host and say, hey, Susie, I'm so glad that Sally connected us. The purpose of this call is really just to be all about you, to share a different perspective with you about the business. Hopefully that is beneficial in you deciding that if this could be a fit for you, and also to show you the kind of support that we offer on our teams. We do these all the time, and we work together really closely. So it's a great community. Now, I'm going to share my story with you, but before we get started, tell me what Rodan and Fields could do for you if you decided this was a fit. And then you just listen, all right? Sometimes we're so eager to think, what's the next thing I need to say? I don't want to forget to say this. I need to make sure I add this business point. What you want to do is just listen to the person on the line, share their heart with you, whether they need financial change, whether they're looking for community, whether they're trying to get out of debt or just put food on the table for their kids, whether they're trying to start a college fund or pay off medical bills or start a business that they're passionate about or whatever it is. Okay, so just be a good listener. And this will help you shape the story that you're going to share with them to fit what they're looking for, because whatever they're looking for, we have it. All right. So she will probably, talk for less than a minute and share a little bit about her heart and what is drawing her to look at this. Another good thing about how I phrased that was it puts ownership on them to really think about, well, what could Rodan and Fields do for me if this was a fit? We're not saying it is a fit. We're not pushing this on you, but let's say it's a fit. What kind of change could this create? And then just listening. Okay. So after she's done, I say, hey, thanks for sharing that. I got started with Rodan and Fields, blah, 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 and then I share my story. I'm not going to go in that. Erica did a fantastic job. I don't even want to screw up all that you learned through her by trying to duplicate that. But you share your story, all right? Now, your story is going to be comprised of all the things that Erica taught us. It's going to be on the shortish side. It's going to be effective. It's going to weave the business points in and out of the story because, facts tell, but stories sell. That's a pop phrase for a reason. It's true. And we want to do a good job of selling what they're looking for by what we have seen Rodan and Fields do so far with our own experience. Okay. Okay. So at the very end, I'm going to handle objections for them. And I'm going to say, well, that's a little bit about my story. And one thing I always share on the three-way call that I don't do in my official story, which is what I share on my soft call, I do my same story, but the only thing that I add is I always want to elevate the consultant that brought them on the call. It doesn't matter if they joined yesterday or if they've been in the business 2 years, if they've had fantastic, incredible success, or if they're still working on that and growing. I always want to elevate them, whether sharing they earned their Lexus, they get to go on bucket list trips, they're at the top of the company, they're about to lead some training for the, all of Rodan and Fields top leaders, or sharing just something like this. They are a really well-respected leader in our team. Okay. Or if they just joined, obviously she just joined, but she's already off to a super fast start and you would be in fantastic hands learning from her. And of course, she'll get to be on my team as well. And so we get to do this together. Okay. But you want to make sure that they feel confident that they're walking into a strong team. Our team specifically has seen incredible success. We are one of the largest and fastest producing teams in the entire company. But that's good for them to know from our bigger team. But as far as their sponsor joining, you want to elevate them and say, you're in fantastic hands with Sally, your friend, Sally. All right. So make sure to add that. At the end of the call, I'm done my story. So that's a little bit about me. And thanks for, listening to that. Tell me any questions that you have. This is your opportunity to go back and forth. It's like a tennis match. They share, I don't have enough time for this. Here's what we have to say about that. I don't have finances to get started. That's why you need this. You need to go ahead and get started to earn an extra stream of income. I've never used the products. That's okay, because there's a 60-day money-back guarantee, and you can be using the products as you try out the business. And if you don't love the products, which doesn't happen, you're going to be obsessed quickly, then of course, turn it all back in and get a full refund. Whatever they have to say about it, we can share in an authentic way a solution to, kind of that mindset. All right. And then once you're done that, this is the way I always end the call. Okay. Well, I'm so glad we got to talk, and, we would love for you to be a part of this. Is that something you're ready for today? Let me say that again. I'm so glad that we had our call. Thanks for listening. We would love for you to be a part of this. Is that something you're ready for today? All right. I'm doing an ask. I'm doing an invitation. It's going to be easier for me to ask Susie to come into the business than many times Sally, because Sally and Susie are the ones that have the relationship. And so it's easy for me to say, we'd love for you to come on board. Let's do that. And they might not be ready. They might say, you know what, I need to look this over one more time. I'm going to talk to Scott about it tonight. And, maybe I'll be ready in the morning to go ahead and get enrolled and off and running. Great. They might say, I am not getting paid until Friday. And so I need to hold off on that. And then, that's an opportunity for you to share that you can actually join on the $45 kit and upgrade your kit to any of the other great kits within your first 30 days of business. And so we want to always be inviting. If they're not ready, then they can become a preferred customer. In the meantime, they're going to fall in love with our products and they're going to want to be a part of this business because it only makes sense for them to get paid to share about this instead of sending that referral to their friend that they buy the products through, right? So we want to get them on as a preferred customer in the meantime, but we're always going to do that ask. And then the last part of our system is just follow up. Statistically, follow up is the most important, and what people are not willing to follow up properly. And so if you're able to follow up consistently and not in an annoying way, right? You're just dripping on people. You're updating them. Oh, we were just named the #1 skincare company in all of North America. Oh, we recently launched into Australia. Oh, we are headed here next. Things like that get people's interest peaked. Continue to follow up. Statistically, 80% of your people are going to come in after the fifth reach out or the fifth drip that you have with them. And of course, you're going to have the real conversation, the 3-way call, and then those follow-ups. So we want to close them immediately. We want them to come in on the higher kits. We want to get them off to a very fast start, running for those enrollment bonuses right away. But if that's not, the timing isn't for that, then let's get them as a preferred customer and continue to follow up with them. All right. I hope you guys took notes. You might need to watch this again, and don't try to be the expert. Just start having those conversations, having those 3-way calls, repeat, repeat, repeat. I try to have all of my new consultants bring me at least 3-way calls a week. Okay, that's their goal. And as they start doing that consistently, they will start closing business partners, and then we get this momentum going. That's really exciting. So thank you guys for listening, and I'm excited for you guys to continue learning throughout these 30 days. Bye.